What up, Dama nerds? Welcome to episode 17. It is the 12th year of Sander. It is July, Wednesday, the 24th, 10:03 p.m. I'm one of the hosts. My name is MJ. I'm accompanied always by my buddy, Rod Dama. How you doing, Rod?
What up, nerds? You know, we're just out here filming episode 17, out here in the 12th year of Sander.
Yeah, we out here.
Yeah. You know, just got back from KWC. Not gonna lie, pretty fucking tired.
Pretty tired.
But we're out here. We gotta talk about this shit, and because it's such important shit to talk about, we got the homie in the house with me today. The one, the only Josh Flowgrove.
Oh.
I am here. We are here together, nerds, uniting.
Triple nerds.
From 3 different countries together in one virtual place.
Well, I mean,
Both
2.
of you guys are American, so it's really 2.
Well, fair enough, but you know, MJ's basically a citizen at this point.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. I'm based.
All right, we can count that. We'll let that one slide.
Josh, thanks for joining in. Sticking around, you know. One of our past episodes, I think it was 15, we were saying, like, if you're coming to Kendama World Cup, like, stay. Stick around.
See the shit.
And so it's good to see that you're sticking around. Was this of your choice, or Sweets was like, hey, you got to do some work over there? Be involved
it was my
in some...
choice.
Nice.
It was my choice. I did a little reconnaissance. I hit up Tomatsu and Rod, and I knew I was going to be there for 2 weeks at least for the JKA World Championship, and then traveling down to meet up with the full team.
Yep.
But I fell in love with Matsumoto the first time I came here in 2015 for Catch and Flow, and got to stay for close to a week or something.
Oh, okay.
A handful of days out here.
Nice.
And just fell in love with it, and I was like, I need to do it again, and found out that there was a competition at the Zora factory.
Oh, yeah.
Talked to Tomatsu and just got the okay to basically be in the Dama house for a couple days and tag along. So Sweets gave me the okay, and I'm here.
Nice. Wait, do you have to use your vacation days for this?
Some vacation days, yes, and I do have opportunities to log some hours in on some work, but it is basically just Dama travel and just, you know, connecting. Like, big intention was competing at the World Cup, which was just an amazing experience. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
And there's been so many magical nights of just adventuring with friends that you become really close with over Instagram that become like your best friend the second you meet, you know?
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
I keep experiencing that. You know, I keep meeting new people on Instagram, and they show up to these really, you know, big events, and it's just like, holy shit, like, I fucking love hanging out with you. Let's go do some crazy things and just adventure and, like, be up and, like, film Kendama and play Kendama and
hug, kiss, slap, laugh.
It's a beautiful thing. But yo, before we get too mushy and gushy, we gotta, like, I'm sure there's some people who are listening right here that have listened to the last episode.
Yes.
And if you were listening, you know that shit got out of control.
There was a big
when we were
cliffhanger
recording in that room. It was insane. We were like recording, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just like 30 people just stormed the room.
Complete ambush.
A complete ambush.
Yes.
We got destroyed by Bonds and the China squad.
Yes.
So let's quick recap. What happened here was Bonds got summoned. I don't know if you remember that in the middle of the recording.
Yes.
Someone came in the room and was like, Bonds, we need you, Bonds, can you come? And so he went and disappeared for like, I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes or something like that?
Yeah.
Max. 10.
And so what he told me was that when he went out there was somebody with a bottle of whiskey. And they was giving him whiskey shots in like one of those square sake cups.
Fucking dangerous.
He gave him a shot of whiskey, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Did it. Then they gave him another one. Like, oh shit! And then another one.
Oh.
And he told me that he didn't even want to drink it. And he fucking it was a whole thing. And he just got wasted. And these guys, and he was just like, "Fuck!" And so he just brought the squad to the podcast, and he wasn't wrong, man. The last words he said was, "Kendama is a gang." And then in came the gang, dude. That was fucked.
Yes, I was just gonna say there's so much about the language too. It was just like Kendama is a language and a gang. It's just like you can connect with anyone, and like you just have this like huge squad of people.
Yeah,
dude, and he was like, "This is proof. This is proof." Because it was a complete ambush, and the podcast ended.
It was done. I mean, it was super intense and actually a little funny. How it went down. So we were totally, getting into it. We were getting deep, talking about fucking aliens and communicating with Dama and communicating with other people. So that was totally legit. That was on point. We were getting like really serious. And Bonds came in. I mean, what the fuck? Everyone's probably listened to the episode already. But when he came in at the end, he said, Kendama's a gang. Like, no one could see it, but it looked like he was about to leave. Like, he came in, he's like, here's what happened. It's intense. And it looked like he was about to leave. He walks towards the door, everyone. And then he just fucking kicks the shit. And as he's kind of, he like kicks it like, I don't know, like 3-4 times. As he's kicking it, I kind of see the door open. And my brain is thinking like, oh, yo, I was about to say like, yo, it looks like someone's trying to get in, Bond. Stop kicking the door. And then he puts his foot down. And then like fucking floodgates, everyone. Like it was,
I swear there was 30
it was like
people.
a scene out of The Walking Dead or something. Like the doors open and the dead fucking came flooding in.
Except they were the opposite of dead, man. Those guys were fucking rowdy. They were screaming. They were throwing nothing around. It was insane. I couldn't believe the shit that was going on. So, yeah, so that happened. But if you guys remember, I was in the middle of a story when that happened. We were talking about jail stories. So we talked about George Marshall going to jail.
Yes.
And then I was talking about my jail story.
Dude, that was so fucked up. I can't believe they fucked him so bad.
Yeah, dude, George got fucked.
George got totally screwed.
Yeah, super fucked. I mean, I got fucked pretty hard, but not as bad as George, I don't think.
So what was your story? Because yes, this is
my
this is
story
why we're here.
My story was where did I leave off? Can you guys tell me?
I was so disoriented after that whole thing.
Me too.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I haven't listened to the recording again yet.
I had to Sherpa everyone out of the room because it was so chaotic. I was like, they were trying to get me to drink alcohol, not to go too deep off of your story, but they were just like, drink, drink, drink. And I was like, dude, I have drank plenty of gin and whiskey to save 3 villages. I don't know if that made sense, but
you'd probably enough
like, no.
enough to fuel a Mini Cooper,
Yes, dude, it was lit, as the kids say. And what happened was like they were trying to get me to drink, and I said no. I was like, we're gonna go downstairs and play a game, and if I lose, I'll drink. And like they were like, okay, and I just left the room. I left all my stuff in that room, and I just left, and they all followed me.
Yeah,
and they were just screaming and running down the hall.
Oh
dude.
my god, so
and,
loud!
Like I literally had to stop them at the stairwell and just said, "Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!" Like so many times. Until
Chinese?
A couple other
You're
people.
saying this in Chinese?
No, I was in English. In English, dude. I was just like, shut the fuck up. Like, and finally, like 30 seconds later, I felt like I was talking to kids. But they were just all just like so, just deep send of a night.
Yeah, no.
And,
Fucking
like,
blinders on, like just going
Oh, yeah.
on.
Finally, that energy was just like, it happened. And then like I contained it in that little tiny hallway because it was like, I don't know what time in the morning. And it was at least midnight and beyond.
Yes,
like,
yes.
And they were like, I was like, we need to be aware. We need to be aware of our sound. If we want to play, we have to shut the fuck up to go down these stairs, and then we can be loud, but like not through all the rooms.
Oh man.
And everyone was like, okay. And we fucking went downstairs, and the night was great.
Did you guys hear from Jake like how Kaito wasn't sleeping and he's like stressing like 100 like full out
For finals the next day.
And the room right next to the GT room was the group, the China's gang. Yeah,
the China and Taiwanese dudes.
Yeah. And so they were, and right when we were recording, we could hear them one floor down, and we're like, what the fuck is going on out there or down there? It sounded like it was outside for a second. And then
it's like a fucking earthquake.
So the thing, Jake was telling me how he's like, yo, Kaito, he's like, my teammate was like, I need to fucking get to sleep. I need to focus for tomorrow. I need to rest. And Jake's like, what can we do? He's like, best of both worlds. He's like, we talked to Bonds. We're like, we're going to go upstairs and fucking crash the Damanerds recording. He's like, and that's going to move the party and the chaos away from Kaito. So he can relax and he can sleep.
Wow, so this whole thing was a scheme from Jake Weens to save Kaito's like mental
stability. And okay, so that's not the only thing. And then I heard from Bonds, and then from Bonds, he was telling me he's like, yo, I had to. The talk was going on too long. It was getting stale. He's like, we needed to finish it. I knew we needed to finish it. And I was like, dude, you were the one that asked that final question of like, everyone gets 40 seconds. Tell me what Kendama means to you. Well, you started that shit.
That's true.
Well, anyway, it was fucking crazy, and we survived to tell the tale.
We did.
We might as well just finish Rod's story and move on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I believe I was talking about.
Just start from the
I had
beginning.
a scooter. Should I start from the beginning again?
Yeah. Oh no. Yes. Well, at least I remember the scooter now that you mention it.
So,
yeah.
It all came from my scooter. I had a 49cc scooter.
Yep. No license. No insurance.
No insurance. I technically didn't have a license either, to be honest. It was expired.
Oh, hey.
But,
there you go. Two birds,
so I got
one
pulled
stone.
over by an undercover cop. The guy tells me he's going to fucking give me a fucking... He's going to be easy on me, even though it's not going to look like it. He fucking gives me a $2,500 ticket for having no insurance, plus like a $400 ticket for having an expired license.
Ooh.
Plus, rather than letting me walk my scooter home the like maybe 5 blocks, like I pretty much see my house at this point. He fucking, and like my scooter, which he could literally put in the fucking trunk of his squad car, like by himself. Like it's not heavy.
Oh man.
I've done that shit. I moved it by myself before, like in my van and stuff. Like it's not that hard.
Whatever, just push it.
Or I could push it home. You know, instead of that, he motherfucker called a tow truck, and this big flatbed truck that could have towed fucking 2 of his goddamn squad car came, put my tiny little fucking bike on the back of it, and took it to the fucking impound, which cost me another bunch of money because it was impounded and shit.
Oh man, he wanted to fuck you good.
Yeah, dude, he fucked me good, Mr. Fucking. I'm gonna give you a good time. It's not gonna seem like it right now, but I'm actually going easy on you. As soon as he said that, I wanted to just like. Oh, there's no fucking way that's true. Like,
where was this again?
This was in Calgary, in Alberta. In good old Canada, bud.
Canada cops are hit and miss on the nice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So nice.
Fucking, some of them are...
Yeah, right? That's
some
a
of
good
them are
point.
not your bud.
Not your bud.
But anyway, this is the beginning of the story, right? So I got that ticket. I went to court. I had fucking the choice in court of either paying the $2,500 ticket. They'd basically dropped the... $400 expired license ticket, and just kept with the $2,500 no insurance ticket. And I had the choice of either going 45 days in jail or paying the $2,500. And at the time, I was highly considering just saying, you know what, fuck you. Yeah, you can feed me for 45 days, and I'll just fucking chill.
Yes.
It's like at the time I wasn't really working and stuff, but I had literally just got a job at a brewery in Calgary called Wild Rose Brewery, which is it used to be this like sick tiny little spot on the old military barracks in an old air hangar, and it was so rad.
Shit, hangar 18.
I loved it there. Yeah, and so I was not about to like sacrifice that job for these fucking idiot motherfuckers. So what I did was I took a community service plea kind of thing. So I asked if I could pay the money in community service rather than just come up with $2,500 just a big lump sum. And so the idea was I fucking had to do community service like however often or whenever I could. Basically, I had so many hours to make up of community service.
Right.
I don't remember how many hours it was.
Did you?
Because to be honest, I never even went and did any of the community service.
Oh,
because I started this job and I just was like always there, and then like yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I just like put it off, and I just never fucking did it, and then I forgot, and then
way.
And then a year went by, and I got an extension for another year, so like I had more time. And then I did that again after another year.
Because you did zero hours at that point.
I did pay some of it. I paid like $500 or some shit like that, and I got an extension.
Wow. I don't know if you can do that in the States.
And then I paid another chunk, and I got another extension for another year. But then after like 3-4 years, I was just like I totally forgot about it. Just slipped my mind.
Dude,
like,
4 years?
Yeah, dude, this was insane. It was like so much longer ago than when the event actually happened. And then like I'm fucking leaving my apartment to go tree planting, and I'm like packing up my shit, and rather than using my van that I know has no insurance on it because I know how fucked that is, I fucking borrowed my little brother's truck and was driving his truck from his house to my house to pick up some shit to move. Like I was literally moving, and I was about to go home and grab something and then go meet my girlfriend at the time for dinner with her dad, and they're like at the restaurant waiting for me, and I get fucking pulled over by this cop.
In the truck, yeah.
Yeah, in my brother's truck.
Okay.
And the cop lied to me. He told me he pulled me over because my brother's license was expired, and he wanted to make sure that he wasn't driving with an expired license, which I found out later was bullshit. Like, I went with my brother to the registry to make sure that was bullshit. Because I was like, the cop told me that. Like, why would he tell me that? Because he's a lying motherfucker. That's why he fucking told me that. And so basically, he fucking pulls me over. I didn't, like, park the truck. It was just, like, pushed on the side. Like kind of pulled over. Like, you know, like, almost like if I was going to double park a motorcycle kind of thing. Like another car wouldn't fit between me and the curb. But, like, like 4 feet from the curb, you know, like. This is like some grounds for getting towed kind of thing.
Yeah.
And motherfucker wouldn't even let me put the truck in a good spot. Wouldn't let, like, I was nothing but cooperative. He told me what was happening, and I was like, okay, I see what's happening. Like, I'm not going to resist or anything. Like, I don't want you to fucking tase me or shoot me or anything. I'm just fucking trying to deal with this situation, right? So I fucking, he wouldn't let me move the truck. My girlfriend at the time is fucking calling me, wondering where the fuck I am.
Yeah,
he won't let me answer the phone either.
Oh,
and I'm like,
man.
dude, like, I told you what the situation is. Like, why can't I just tell her what's happening so she's not worried that I'm, like, dead or something?
Yeah.
You know? And he looked at me and he said, well, how do I know it's not your little, like, gangbanger buddy's gonna come shoot me up later or get you out or something? He said that to me. I was like, do I look like a gangbanger to you, dude? Like, first of all. Second of all, we're in Calgary, Alberta. Third of all, like, fuck you, dude. Like, it says, like, her name on there. Like... And, like, I even said, like, I'll put it on speakerphone. You can talk to her. Like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
like, the fuck, man? So, basically, he kidnapped me. Fucking threw me in prison.
Oh, my God.
Like, and, like, I spent, like, 4 or 5 hours in, like, the drunk tank, like, in a holding cell. Just nothing. Like, I couldn't do anything. I eventually was able to call my dad. The arresting officer told me that I would have access to my cell phone to get phone numbers out of it.
Yeah.
Because I told him I didn't know my dad's phone number, and that was who I needed to call.
Right.
And so
nobody
he said
knows
it wouldn't
anyone's
be a problem.
phone numbers anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And then once I was in the cell, they were like, well, no, who told you that? You don't get to see your phone. So I had to wait an extra, like, hour, however long, for them to, like, clear the dude to get my fucking phone, to bring it to me, to, like, watch me do this shit. Like, it was so fucked. So I finally call him. And then by the time all this happened, they're like, yeah, it's been a while, so it doesn't look like you're getting bail or anything, so we're just going to process you. So that literally, like, I went into real jail. Like, I got put into, like, with the, like, I had a cellmate. I got put in with the general, like, in general population in jail.
Yeah.
And this was at the Calgary Remand Center, like, the biggest jail in southern Alberta.
Whoa.
And
like, is that far away from where you were at that point?
Yeah, it was, like, probably a 45-minute drive, like, maybe-ish. Maybe not quite, but yeah, Calgary's pretty, like, spread out. Like, if you don't have a car, it's fucked up to get around.
Dude, they must have... this sounds like they had a warrant or some shit, and, like, they were hunting you down.
There was a warrant out for my arrest because I still owed money on that ticket. It was a pink ticket. Which
there you go. That's what you're gonna get.
It's a whole thing.
Oh man,
I kind of neglected to mention that part. You're right. Sorry, my bad.
Yikes.
So,
that's fucking huge. That's why I was like, dude, what do you mean? 3-4 years went by, and you're like, well, no, I guess I got
because I never paid it. That's what happens. They don't fucking send you a letter or like call you to be like, hey, remember this thing that you're supposed to pay? They just straight up put a warrant out for your arrest.
Yeah, dude, it's not like you pre-ordered like this new fucking video game that came out. You didn't go to pick it up at the store.
Yeah, dude.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, by the way, you didn't come pick up your awesome game yet. You want to do that with your,
Yeah.
Make sure to bring your point card."
But you'd think that would be like the government loves that shit. They're always calling when they need money. They're like, "Hey, by the way, you need to pay this. You need to pay this." Like,
dude,
fucking...
oh man, they don't.
So,
like
anyways,
you in
I'm on a monthly
Canadian
government basis.
fucking.
I got fucked, man. I got the long stiff dick of the law on this one, man. It was fucking. Anyway, so to continue the story, I got put into the gin pop kind of thing, right? Like, so I fucking had to like strip down in front of a cop. Like, he had to check my butthole, fucking all the shit.
Dude,
like,
shut up.
No, he didn't. He did not penetrate me, but I had to bend over and like spread my cheeks and shit, and like put on a fucking. I had the jumpsuit. Dude, it gets better. Just wait. I had the fucking jumpsuit and shit. I had the socks and stuff, like everything. So I finally, by this point, it's like, fuck, I don't even know, like 5, 6 a.m. kind of thing. Like, by the time they did all this shit and get me to my fucking cell. And so I walk us down all this way, like, through all these cell blocks and all these dudes standing there and shit. It was fucking, I could not believe that this was my fucking life. I was just in complete denial that this was really happening. I was just like, you're fucking kidding. Like, I am watching a movie right now. This is some augmented reality shit. Like, fuck this. And like, no, dude.
Dude,
no.
I would be fucking crying so much. I'd be a fucking baby. Like, life is over.
It was bad, dude. And so I fucking eventually
how long ago was this?
Go in. This was in like
10 years?
2008-ish.
There you go, 10 years.
10, maybe. No, it was like 2010. Sorry,
Okay. Yeah. That's
2010 or 11 maybe. But yeah, so I
Dude.
finally get down the hallway to like
Dude.
our cell block where I'm getting put. The lady fucking pushes a button on this thing, opens up the door like upstairs on the second level, like way the fuck over there. She's like, "That's your cell. Don't wake up your cellmate." And I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean, man?" Like, so I just fucking go up there, and there's this big dude fucking snoring away on the bottom bunk, and there's just a top bunk, and I'm like, "Well, fuck." And there's no ladder or nothing, so I had to step off this dude's bed to get to my bed. Right, and I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I'm just in jail, like,
Holy
you know.
shit.
So I jump off this dude's bed. I get up into my bed, and I'm just sitting there, just like
Your new
curled
bed.
up like a ball, just being like, "Fuck this, dude. This is fucked. Like, fuck, god damn."
Hold on.
I don't
So
even-
at this point, did you know that like there's light at the end of the tunnel? Like you're gonna be here for this
I had
many
no
days?
idea what was gonna happen because I talked to my dad, and my dad said that he was gonna try and help me out, but he didn't know when he could. It was late. You know, like he had to get money, he had to pay this money. They had to like clear the fact that money got paid. Like, and it was like $1,000 or some shit because I had paid most of the ticket, not all of it. And like, it's so stupid, dude. Like, I can't say it's anyone's fault but my own. Really, I really can't.
Man. Yeah.
But anyway, so it gets better. So I'm fucking laying in my cot, like with like fucking curled up in a ball with my like knees in my chest. And all of a sudden, the dude on the bottom bunk just like jumps up and he's like, "Whoa!" Like, and he's this big fucking dude. He kind of like in my mind, I don't remember what he actually looked like, but if you've ever seen the movie Super Troopers, he looks like Rod Farva from Super Troopers.
I don't know.
And like, he's just like this big dude with a mustache and like
Big dude. Okay.
and like the dude jumped up so quick and shit, I was freaking out. So I'm like, have my legs already like cocked. I was like, I do not want to do this, but I might have to kick this dude in the fucking jaw right now. Like, I was like on edge, dude. It's like, you know what? Like, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
You've never been
yeah.
to jail before. You've seen movies and shit. You don't know, right?
Right? All I know is
Turns
that
out-
you have to go to the biggest dude and just knock him out.
Well, that's what they say. Yeah,
That's what they
But,
say.
like,
Which sounds
so
like
as far
the
as I was
worst
concerned-
idea ever.
right? As far as I was concerned, I was with the biggest dude in my fucking cell.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
This dude just all of a sudden jumped up out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the? Turns out this motherfucker jumped up like that every fucking 15 minutes because he had some kind of bladder infection or something. This dude pissed or tried to piss.
Oh, wow.
Sounded like he was pissing dust for fucking every 15 minutes, dude. The poor guy.
Just like
He was in pain. I don't know what was wrong with him, but after the second time he did it, I was kind of like, okay, this dude just has some shit going on.
oh man.
All right.
Did you exchange names?
No, I didn't really talk to him much. He was a weird. The only thing he ever said was when I got breakfast in the morning, he said, "Can I have your butters?"
And you gave him the
Because I
butters.
guess, fuck yeah, I gave him the butter. The butter and the fucking, like, the toothpaste shit, everything I got, I left for him when I left. I gave it to him.
Oh,
But this is where it
wow.
gets funny, dude. This is where it gets funny. So,
I'm laughing
in
so
the
how's it
cell-
gonna get better?
in the cell, there's a little fucking intercom thing. There's
Okay.
a button to talk.
Okay.
And there's a radio button. So you can just turn on the radio.
It's like a whole
and
fucking
it, like,
hotel.
plays music. Kind of, yeah. Except you don't get to change the station. It's just whatever they choose. So they had this station that's called like Cool 100
Oh,
playing
man.
or some shit.
Just playing fucking
And-
Smash Mouth the whole time. Or some
Dude,
shit.
no, I wish it
Oh.
was Smash Mouth, dude. So the entire time I was in there, it just happened to be the same time where the Backstreet Boys were doing a reunion tour.
Oh yeah.
And so they were doing a Backstreet Boys marathon.
oh wow.
So I was in jail for like 24 hours or so,
Wow.
just listening to the Backstreet Boys the entire time. The entire time.
Dude, I've heard
How's
like
that even a thing?
I couldn't believe dude, this whole situation, just straight disbelief, straight denial. I still to this day am like, this was a bad dream. Like, there's no fucking way
Holy
that happened.
shit.
Like, how do you can't make that up, dude? Like,
I've heard like FBI, CIA, and like other organizations use it like repetitive music to break people.
no, totally, yeah, I can see that.
And yeah,
I
imagine
fucking-
whoever
if I
decided
was
that.
in there another day, dude, I would have been fighting that big dude. And I would have been losing my mind.
Oh man,
I don't want it that way. Fuck you, dude.
man, I'm keeping my butters.
Yeah, dude.
This is-
Fuck.
I can't even believe that.
Dude, and like, so I finally at one point, I hear my name called. They're like, fucking call me on the intercom. They're like, you made bail, whatever. Like, my dad finally paid the shit. It finally went through.
That's like winning the lottery.
Dude, I fucking was running down those goddamn stairs.
How many days has passed?
It was just like a day. It felt like it was 24 hours.
Forever.
I bet. No, yeah. It was probably
But it
like
felt-
the fucking Twilight Zone. It's like you were there for like
Dude,
3
I
months.
fucking I swear it was a month. But anyway, so like I finally get out. They like release me and shit. They're giving me all my shit back, giving me my Dama back. Like I had my first walnut LBB. That Dama has been to jail.
Your
second
Dama.
LBB ever made. Yeah. But so like I was saying, like I was moving and shit, right? So they didn't drive me back to where I was or anything. They just gave me a bus ticket and like, here you go, you're free. So I had to find out where the bus station was. I had to find out how to get home. I had to fucking like do all this shit. First thing I did was went to my brother's truck because I assumed it was towed, and I thought I was fucked. By whatever goddamn grace of whatever fucking god there is in fucking Calgary, the truck was still there.
Whoa.
No ticket, no nothing. So it was just there.
Yeah.
And you had the keys.
And I had the keys and everything. Yeah.
Oh
so,
shit.
Like, nothing bad came of that, which I was sure should have, because it was right off of 17th Avenue, which is like the busiest part of Calgary, like right downtown. And like it was there for 24 hours and like nothing, like more than 24 hours, because that was before all the whole jail time shit.
Damn.
And like, dude, yeah, it was still there, and they fucking like lost my fucking, I don't know how, but I didn't have my storage locker keys when I fucking came out of jail. I had them with me when I went in, so I had to break into my storage locker. I had to bust the lock off it and buy a new lock and shit. And like, finally finished moving, explain all this shit to like my girlfriend, explain it to my dad, like. Apologize to him for having to pay that money for me. You know,
yeah.
Like I had to fucking do all that shit, and then still make my way out to tree planting season. And now I was a day behind schedule and like doing all this shit, and like it was fucked, dude. It was such a gnarly time.
All right, if I can ask you one question.
Yes.
What's the biggest lesson you learned out of all of it?
Don't drive your fucking 49 goddamn cc scooter without insurance, bud.
Or any vehicle, because I got pinned with the same thing, and we're not going to go into that right now.
Oh
shit!
I got pinned with that in Minnesota, and that's intense. But yeah, don't drive without insurance, because
yeah, it's a bad idea.
It sucks that we have to do that shit anyway and just pay for this thing. You know,
yes.
Right of freedom of travel.
Holy
we're just paying this game.
Shit! Wait.
We don't need to get into that. I want to get honestly back into KWC here pretty soon, because
no,
I know people are waiting for the recap, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god,
like,
I'm just so interested about
story.
people getting fucking pulled
over. You guys
over.
are gonna have to have me back at a later date to hear that story.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm down with that. So that was the story. I was interrupted when we were at the KWC when all that craziness ensued.
That's insane. That's not a 45-second story by any means.
No, but
What?
that was after the 45-second story. We were talking about jail shit.
Jail shit's real shit, and
yeah.
people have experienced it. So
My lord.
Yeah, dude. But
Free
yeah, so
alienator,
that
dude.
was after day 2 on Saturday. Or sorry, after day 1 on Saturday. Day 1 of cups.
Day 1
before
Saturday.
Day 2.
So out of the let's see, you guys got there Friday, maybe Thursday night. When did you
Thursday
get to
night,
Hiroshima?
we arrived in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, you got there, and then so you
we had
spent
free
the
day
night.
Friday.
Free day Friday.
So
yeah.
we took a bike squad to Miyajima Island.
Oh my god.
In the rain.
Yeah, no, that was.
It actually didn't rain until we were on the way back, but it was epic. It's like a thing, like a ritual we do every year. We go to Miyajima Island. Usually we have the ritual going on there at the shrine, and then we go to the other side of the island and go for a swim. And this year we decided to send it and do the swim, even though it was raining. And I couldn't have been more happier that we did. We had to bike back in the rain, but that was so much fun too. It was sick.
And you've done that like how many years now?
Me? This is every year. Like this is the 6th year of KWC, but I've been doing it for 7 years since the first time I came to Japan in 2012. Around the same time every year, swimming in that same spot on the same island.
Yeah,
Pissing
it was
in
beautiful.
that same spot.
Pissing. Just pissing, bud.
It was the first time I got to experience Miyajima Island, and it's always been like a dream of mine to go there. And the fact that it happened was just like amazing. You know, I got to see the shrine. I just popped a headstand. Bond's freaking balanced a lunar balance on my foot upside down. Got a cool picture.
Yeah, no, that is
got
a
to pet
sick
some
picture.
deer.
Yeah.
Ate some okonomiyaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to stop the deer from eating all of our shit.
Had to
The
stop
deer
the
almost
deer
ate your
from eating
phone,
my
dude. Do you remember
phone.
that?
Ate your
I was gonna run away
phone.
and make a freaking collect call to America that was gonna cost me way too much money, and so we stopped that activity from happening. But it was just beautiful, man, and like the fact that we had bikes. Like you guys haven't done bikes.
That was the first time I'm. This is my most regretful thing I've ever said about Japan. My first time ever bringing a bike to Miyajima Island, and I'm like so mad at myself for never doing it before.
Yeah, because we got a mob to the other side of the island within like 15, 20 minutes. We had to mob up some hills, but like
every other year, we either walk in the goddamn heat and hate our lives for like an hour to get there, or we fucking just bite the bullet and buy a cab, which you have to wait and just like figure it out, and it's like a whole fucking thing.
See. But
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
it would be tough to bring a bike because you're pretty much going with the group for that ceremony.
Yes, except that the Omotenashi hostel where the group stays has a whole row of bikes outside, and they rent those out for 100 yen a day.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
100 yen a day.
And so, like, it costs us 100 yen per day for the bike. And then to get to the island with the bike was like 560 yen, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both ways, like not just one way, like return.
$6, you get a bike, you get a ferry over to the island, and like as long as you want to just sesh. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just magical.
It's beautiful.
Fuck.
We one really crazy thing that happened on the beach side of things is they have this like giant inflatable, like almost like a Wipeout. Like if you've ever seen the TV show Wipeout, they have this like floating
Obstacle course. kind of
obstacle course, yeah. And Bonds, like we got there and I was cooling off. We were all sweating. Bonds immediately gets into his shorts and just like heads straight there. No questions asked about anything. There's like some like pop up tent booth, like 100 feet from the water in front of the thing, but he disregards that and just goes
Yeah.
straight to the
I
water.
literally said, yo, I'm pretty sure that's like something that's going to cost money. And he just looked at me with his Bond smile and went, not today. Fucking went and ran out there.
And so he sends it, and I'm like, dude, okay, I got to take my shirt off and take my glasses off and send. So I go into blind Grove mode and just like get into my shorts and just like start running down the beach towards this like inflatable object.
How blind are you without your glasses?
Well, if anyone knows prescriptions, like I'm -4, -5 in my eyes, so like I can see like a good 4 inches in front of my face clearly. Everything else is gone.
Oh,
So, but I can sesh. I can play Dama without my glasses, but not like insanely well.
right. It's right in
But
front
we
of
get
your face,
over there,
too, yeah.
dude, and
Oh,
it was
man.
just, yeah. We got to the thing. It was me and Bonds by ourselves for maybe like a minute, and then we had like, I don't remember who joined next. You showed up pretty soon after we got
Yeah,
there,
I was
and a couple
running
like
out
George.
there, yeah.
George Marshall showed up really soon after. But more of the story, like
Fred.
we started like running around this thing and like racing on it and just like having a bunch of fun. We get like maybe 10 people on it at this point, like 12 people on it, and then this man like comes running down from the beach like screaming Japanese at us basically,
Yeah.
and he's like close, 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 and we're like, Rod basically said if anyone comes and kicks us off, I don't speak Japanese.
Right, yeah.
He didn't, and I was like, can we pay? Like, can we pay to play? Like, can we like?
Oh,
yen?
nice, yeah, yeah.
And he was just like, no, close today, and we're just like, oh shit, like we're not supposed to be on this thing at all. But we got our fun in and like went on our own adventures on that side. Got a trick laced on the island with George and found some dope shells, and
Yeah.
then we biked back in torrential downpours. We started seeing this like haze of just like rain coming in across the water. Like you couldn't
Oh,
see
man, yeah.
Hatsukaichi anymore. It was just gone. And so, but it was fun, man. Wear swim shorts, take your shirt off, and protect the things you don't want to get wet, and just haul ass.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, which is most of your stuff. You have your cameras and phones and
And
shit.
just a backpack. Most
Yeah.
of us had like either like an umbrella or a jacket or something. I had like a big straw hat that covered most of my shit. Like,
Yeah. I think this was the first time that it rained so much.
It was, yeah. I was gonna say it's never really rained at KWC, not like that. Anyways, it has a little bit. Like there was one year it rained at the street party, like pretty hefty, but like that's it really.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced a single day of like complete sunshine.
Yeah, it hasn't really
I've been here for
this year's
13
been
days
interesting.
now, 14 days.
Yeah.
2 weeks now.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice though.
I
Right.
enjoy it, dude. Like, yeah, it's still hot and humid, but like apparently it's not nearly as bad as it has been. So
No.
It
Yeah,
can,
that was great.
It
And then the
definitely
next-
can be worse.
yeah, next day was comp day too.
Yeah, it was.
And that's when KWC really started getting going, which was wild. But
Man, so now, Josh, this was your second time? First time.
second time to Japan, I went to Catch and Flow
That's
in
right, that's
2015, and that was a really crazy experience. Somehow, I qualified for top 16 finalist
Yeah.
out of like I don't know how many people that went for.
I think there was around
Qualifying.
150. or
Yeah,
100.
dude.
They usually cut it off around 100.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah. Hells yeah,
I
you
just
made
res-
it. You were tossing so much crazy shit. Like I've never seen. That was the first time I met you, and I've never seen your style like around the back, like continuing like half
Moon
throws and
circles,
shit.
yeah.
And it's just like everyone's
That
like,
kick.
what? Yeah, dude. It was
That kick spike.
Yeah,
it
dude.
was
I don't know, man.
Such a breath of fresh air. I think for like a lot of people in Japan to see that style.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, thanks, man. Like, because it was really magical, man. And, like, the fact that I even got to be on stage, I actually had to battle this motherfucker right here. And, like, Rod is just so consistent with, like, his flow. And, like, I just got shit on in finals. But, like, you know, I got a swag bag to go home with and, like, got to stand on that stage and compete.
Yeah.
I mean, we both left with the same shit. I just had one more.
You had one more notch. One more try. Yeah.
One more notch in my belt.
Yeah, that was
and then
magical.
I had to go against Bonds, and Bonds wrecked me.
Yeah, but, I mean, KWC, this was my first time competing in Cup. And so I've been practicing, like, relatively, like, diligently, like, you know, with my work schedule over the last, you know, couple months, and, you know, put away the video game controller as well, like, for the nighttime Netflix kind of sesh, and was just seshing Dama until it was time to go to bed. And I just kept trying to learn as many tricks as I could to, like, keep notching up my, like, 10s and, you know, getting the highest score possible. And yeah, man, it was a really beautiful vibe to experience the opening ceremony and all of the countries that were represented there. How many countries were?
16.
There were 16 flags above the stage.
Yes.
And,
dude, the
that's
dude
just, like,
from
really cool to see.
the dude from Brunei. I walked with him second day. I walked with him in the rain from the station to the event. I was just like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "So where are you from?" He's like, "Brunei." I was like, "Oh shit!" Right away, I was like, "Yeah, me and Robert were talking about that." I'm like, "Where is that?" I was guessing Africa. He's like, "But no, it's like it's southern. It's a small island in Asia. I already forgot where it was." But
wow, yeah, I honestly couldn't.
It was
tell you where
awesome
it is.
to meet that dude.
Hell yeah, he was the homie.
Yeah. So many different countries there. Intenseness.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And, like, I don't know, like, I honestly, I haven't even shared this, like, my score on social media yet or anything, but, like, I was going for a 74, which was, like, the lowest qualifying score last year. And I kind of figured, honestly, like, with that score, I wasn't going to qualify. But, like, my goal, you know, my intention was to do the best I could and, like, try my damnedest to qualify. But, so, like, I had, like, a good run, and, like, practicing it, I was, like, nailing my runs, like, a good, like, you know, like, 75-80% of the time, like, at least getting my backup trick if I wasn't hitting my, like, final, like, level 8 or my level 9. And, so the runs were really good, man. I honed in and put my headphones on. That was kind of my own strat. And
what was your Dama of choice?
Dama of choice was the Nick Alger Maple Can without the booty hole with an unreleased bamboo Tama 70-30 split.
Mm-hmm.
I only knew it was my setup like 2 days or 3 days before. It was maybe like closer to 4 because like I started seeing it was a fresh Tama and I started breaking in the bamboo bevel and it was just perfect.
Yeah.
It just came down to the runs and I missed. I got both my backup tricks, but I ended up hitting 4 out of the 6 tricks, you know, including my backup trick on both rounds, and my score was at like 51. So I was like immediately filled with a lot of like frustration and like anger and like sadness. Like after that first round when I didn't hit all 5, I was just like, there's no way, that I'm gonna be able to qualify. If you don't hit all of your tricks that like you're going for, like you're not gonna qualify. And so it's amazing to like be able to compete at a top tier level. And honestly, I'm 27, almost 28, and you know, Rod's up here with me too, and like we're all up here in this like age realm, like, and we're competing with people that are winning at age 15,
age 9, dude,
age 9 on top 30, and it's just like, holy shit, this game is insane, dude. It's like very validating that it's an ageless sport, you know. And I'm just trying to hopefully one of us can fucking prove that like someone over 20 even. You know, the oldest qualifying person was 20. Lyndon?
Yeah, 20.
Is Lyndon 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then wild card was like Eric at 23.
Right.
So ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's just wild, you know. Like I love the game, and I'm a competitive person at heart, and I'm committed to like the teaching element of it all. But yeah, man, it's fun.
Definitely
It's fun to compete.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
And that's why this sport is growing so fast, and like it's insane to just see the 9-year-olds lacing tight ropes and like level 11s, like
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious to hear about your guys' experience with KWC. Like, I'm not like you competed, yeah? Did you went for
This time I didn't. The first,
didn't.
This is my third year going. I competed the first 2 years, which was year 1, and then what was that? Year 3? 2 years ago.
So you're an every 2 years kind of guy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it was very. I mean, the first one was like nobody knew what to expect. Except for the few people like Rod who experienced the Gloken Cup in Osaka the year before.
In Nara, actually.
Sorry. So it was just like a time for like everyone to just like fucking flip out because you're meeting all the pros getting off of this one bus. And it's like, whoa, like, look at, like, there's the pros, like, that's crazy. That was my first time realizing, like, what a professional kendama player was. It's like the amount of consistency that one brings. I'm like, that's a professional. Like, now I understand. That's when I saw, like, live Bonds at Tron, like, right in front of my face, just, like, going at it. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, because you see videos and edits and shit, you're like, oh, okay, he probably, like, spent, I don't know, however long to get that trick. But, no.
You watch someone do something first try, and you're like, oh, okay, well, this is fucked.
Yeah. So, it was, for me, it was just very fun to meet so many people, and to participate in it was good, too. But, of course, I was a little sad that I didn't get all of my tricks both years that I've entered. I didn't get all my tricks, but I'm like, it's not about winning, because like I know I would never be able to get so far. It's just pleasing myself and trying to do the best I can do, which I never get to, because those fucking shakes, once they're just like Sunny each Hajime, and I can't even fucking lighthouse because I'm shaking so much. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Yeah.
How were your shakes? Did you have shakes at all?
Me, like, I don't really get the shakes as much anymore until I start missing, like, a bunch.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of like, fuck, and I have to, like, take a second and be like, dude, like,
chill the fuck out.
You're chill.
Okay,
like,
breathe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, that happened to me this year in my second round. My first round, I was kind of shook because there's a kid named Haruichi from last year that was kind of one of the two kids that handed a bunch of tricks. And so he got subtracted a lot of points, and he wasn't the one that got 0. He was the one that got like 100 or something.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't get very. I don't remember what the number was, but anyway, he was in my group this year for Group 1, and he did some lunar tricks, like inward lunar tricks. And the whole idea this year was that the judging system was there's 3 judges, 1 player going at all times, and if you think the trick is good, you have to raise your hand, like JKA style or like catch and flow style kind of thing. And if it's not good, you don't raise your hand. And in order for that trick to count, you had to have 2 of the 3 judges agree that was good.
Yeah.
Right? And so when Haruichi went, I didn't raise my hand on those inward lunar tricks. I was just like, I don't think that was clean, man. Like,
oh, yeah.
I'm sitting right here, and the other people didn't either. And part of me thinks that the other kids, it was me and a couple kids, like, pretty much. So part of me thought that maybe they just, like, didn't fully understand what it was happening kind of thing, and they were just kind of following me.
Right.
I don't really know, but what happened was Haruichi, like, got really upset, and he was like, but I didn't touch. I'm like, oh, like, why? And he was, like, crying, and, like, and he was, like, folded up, sitting there crying. The kid is, like, 9 years old, you know? Like, he's emotional. He doesn't...
Right.
And I get that, but I was like, dude, like, if you want to compete at this level, you gotta, like, buck up a little bit. You gotta prove that you're, like, at least capable of that on, like, several levels. Not just because you can do a hard trick and, like, cheat it. You know?
Right. And
like,
it would make sense. Like, I'm not sure if he was aiming it towards you. Probably not. But, you know, that's why there's the 3 people.
At one point, it kind of felt like it because he insisted on going first. Yeah. And I ended up going last in the group. Yeah. And one of the tricks I did
Did he just not raise his hand to any of your shits?
He didn't judge at all for anyone until I went. The other 2 dudes, he wouldn't judge. He was just sitting there, like, crying and shit. And I was trying to tell him, like, yo, you gotta judge, man.
Yeah.
He was being a child about it. I mean, he is a child.
He is a child.
Being a child about
it.
Yeah. And so, when it came time for me to go, the first thing I did was my backup trick, just a lightning drop swap spike, like first tee, right?
Yep.
And he just didn't mark it down. And so I was just like, what the fuck? And, like, nobody signed their names on my paper at the end. And so before the second round could start, we all changed to our second group. and I had to run around and find everyone and get everyone to sign my sheet. I told Coda what happened.
Whoa.
And then, like, we went and, like, just so, like, I went to the other dude in my group and was like, yo, like, you remember that, right? Like, Haru didn't write it down. Like, can you just, like, I'm not trying to cheat on a fucking lightning drop swap spike. Like,
Yeah.
Like, and even if I was, like, I just wouldn't be that trick. If I was gonna cheat, it wouldn't be that trick. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how can you fucking cheat that?
But that's not the point.
Spike.
Anyways, like, so that happened, and then I went to my group 2, and then it was like I ended up going last in that group 2, and like I'm not trying to put that blame on anyone. Like I'm the one who fucked up, but I felt like I was off maybe, but I also fuck up every year at KWC, so I'm just kind of like meh. I put tricks in there. Like my biggest problem was that I had to choose. You choose your tricks in the morning, and I'm like trying to see what I'm feeling honed at, so I'm trying tricks and stuff, and I'm trying to things, and I like chose tricks like, for example, I chose the stunt plane. Inward one turn stunt plane fast hand grip switch penguin.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that swap penguin. I can do the like without penguin, just like regular fast hand. I can do it pretty much every time. But like the penguin swap just fucks me. But I did it first try, like when I was like signing up and doing all that shit. So I was like,
that's why you decided, like, yeah,
I'm gonna do it. It's a good one. And this year you weren't allowed to change any tricks or anything, so I was just practicing that all day, kind of thing, until it went.
It's a little intense, like. Because that was my first time experiencing it. And, like, when you walk into KWC to go into registration, like, which closes at, like, 10:30 or whatever, you had to, like, get your name checked off, and then you have to choose your, 10 tricks that you're going to go for with your backup tricks, so, like, 6 tricks each, total 12.
Yep.
And, like, you do that in the morning. Like, has it always been like that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it's, like, for me, like, I already kind of knew my run. Like, I knew what tricks, like, I was looking to do, and, like, I put those down, because those are the ones that I've been practicing,
Yeah.
And that's like what I was going for. That was my goal, but it was a little intimidating. It was like kind of stressful, You're sitting down, you're like, I'm not competing for 6 more hours, and I'm locking this shit in right now. Final answer.
Yeah. And
no phone to friends. Like once I turn this in, and like this is it.
Yeah,
because you have to hand in the sheet of all the other tricks.
Yes, you don't have the stickers to change.
You don't have the stickers for the rest of the day to change your tricks.
But that was different this year than it ever has been.
You could change it.
So, but in past years, you would hand in your sheet, and they would take a stack of sheets, and they would organize them into each group or whatever. So that once it came time for Group B, they would have all the Group B set up, and this is square number 1, this is square number 2, and they had it all. So somebody had to go through and do that.
Yeah,
and they would come through and hand it out. And at that time, you could put different stickers on there, and you could change it before you run.
Interesting.
Yeah, but this year they chose to make it different so that you hung onto your sheet, and in order to stop people from like walking around and like checking other people's score, like, oh, what are you going for? Oh, what are you going for? Oh, okay, well, I can just like take this trick off and do an easier trick, and then easily qualify, right? Like,
right. That
way is like kind of shiesty, So in order to prevent that, they just made it so that you just decide on it right now, and that's it.
That's crazy. I would never like practice different tricks when I was the times that I was getting ready for KWC. It was like, see all the tricks. I'm like, all right, I need to choose this many. I choose them, and like that's all I did. And so for me, I had no question about like, should I go with this one? Should I go with that one? It happened once, and actually I made the right choice because I got that trick. But overall, it's like, I already had the set. Like, I'm like, I'm done. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had like 2, maybe 3 like potential tricks that I had like on my like notebook paper where I was like, this is a potential trick that I'm going to do. And like one of them was D-Rose like level 8. The other one was like Austin's level 8.
Yeah.
Donovan's.
Yeah.
And like I was just slapping Austin Donovan's a lot easier than I was D-Rose, and so I decided to go with that one like in the morning, but I was just like, okay, like I'm committing myself to this fucking trick.
Right.
And it happens to be like Austin's trick was the trick that like I ended up hitting the spike tap back to inward lunar and went for spike, and I hit the spike, but my hands were so sweaty that like gripping the Dama after I spiked and followed through, it just shot the fuck out of my hand like a squirt gun.
Yeah. Oh,
and I had like 40 seconds left to go, and I ended up not clutching it out. But it's just like, it's cool though. It's like a cool way of competing, and it seems like it's evolving each year. They're focusing on refining and implementing the best that they can, and I'm like really eager to see how it keeps growing. One thing that I brought up to Rod that we were just like talking about at Matsumoto Castle actually was like, I thought maybe it might be a good idea to have, it might be a good idea to have like an orientation, like a mandatory competition orientation for all the players, which may seem crazy to have that many competitors in one room.
Dude, not at all. Just
like,
just like make a video and send it out to everyone. Make sure they watch it.
But for my understanding,
Beforehand.
like that is one way that you could approach it, and you could attempt that, you could experiment with that.
Yeah.
But like it's just like it takes like just getting everyone in the same room and one person basically saying shut the fuck up and like you need to listen, and this is important because this is setting the precedent of how we're doing this at the highest tier of this sport.
Right.
This is the expectations of you competing in this activity. Like, you are going to be an active participant in the judging. If you're not, like, maybe that affects you as a player. You know, like, if you're not participating in an active and, like, productive, like, judging, like, yeah, these are just ideas that, like, were coming through, like, after being a part of it. But, because kind of like what Rod said, it's like, you know, a couple, you know, like, being an active judge is important. Because you're talking about, like, qualifying and not qualifying for, like, potentially thousands of dollars.
Right.
You know? So...
Well, it's that, and also, like, you're talking about, like, somebody who's handing tricks and getting by because somebody's, like, unwilling to, like, confront them on it. And them taking the spot of somebody who's maybe worked really hard to, like, make the finals and just had a bad run and missed one trick or something like that, you know?
And
it could be anything.
If you've never told someone, like if you've never like judged a speed ladder before at like a local event or anything, and now you're sitting in the World Cup and like being a judge because you're a competitor, it's not easy to be like, no, you didn't do that because they're on the clock. They're on the clock. Like it has to be an instinctual thing where it's just like that doesn't count, and they have to like it's like a integrity thing where like you just like understand this is the rules, and if two people, you know, don't say yes, you just fucking let that shit go and you try again.
Exactly.
Like,
and
can't waste time.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why the judging was changed this year to the hand raising thing, right? Because it's much more concise. It makes it like, this is what happened. They didn't say yes, so you have to fucking do it again.
I think that was the right idea.
I love that. That was one of my favorite of the new changes.
I wonder if next time, if like it would be good to have like positions for the judges, like. I don't know why everyone's sitting down. Maybe it's easier.
I agree with you.
Is it easier to maybe stand, like surrounding, like there should be 4 points, create a triangle, around the person.
Triangle around the person.
Yeah.
I agree with the standing thing, because sitting down, it makes it harder to see if you're being greasy, especially if like they're chasing an inward lunar or something, they're going behind and they come back. It's like, that happened to like the kid in my group, and I was kind of like, I was already 80% sure you handed that, and then you went behind your back, and now I'm like, okay, well, I'm not putting my hand up now.
Yeah, because
like, I don't even know.
You're right.
Even if I saw that, like, I don't know, you know?
Right.
I feel like it's a part of the rule too. It's like you must perform so it's visible to the judge. Period.
Yes.
And if it's not, then that's not a hand raise. Like you know.
Yeah.
100%. For those of you who can't see right here, we got Coda in the kitchen because we know we're at the Dama house, and he's nodding his head. He agrees.
As well as like having kids in it, right? This is why I believe a lot of competitions are broken up into, this is like the kids round,
100%.
This is for adults because of, you know, there's some really good kids, and I'm sure there's plenty of them who can slay, and there's plenty of them who have the integrity and will restart a trick if it hits their fingers. But
totally,
the whole,
which was proven this year, right?
the whole being like emotional thing is something that can get to a kid. And then just like in your case, Rod, it's like their emotions took over, and then they weren't being they couldn't judge, they couldn't perform as a judge,
he couldn't function he couldn't perform his function.
So then poor whoever else, poor you, Rod, who had to make tricks, and it's like, dude, come on,
2 years in a row.
So then maybe that's another thing, like fucking Kendama World Cup Junior Edition.
Yeah, that's
but
interesting.
That, and then you would need I would feel like you would need adults then to be the judges. So we need a hell of a lot of volunteers.
I mean, that's what we're talking about being the problem, is the kids being like a problem as judges, not as being players, because it's obvious they can do the tricks. It's just whether they're willing to like be vulnerable enough to say like, oh, I made a mistake, I'm going to start again.
Right, kids,
you know, and be like. Yeah, but we've all been kids. We all make stupid decisions. We all don't know what we're
the worst.
We're learning.
We're kids.
We're learning.
Yeah, stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Making the worst decisions all the fucking time. like nonstop. And
Parents
then
just furious.
like to go with, you know, the different countries. I'm sure, Josh, you've been to MKO plenty of times, and the amount of children, I'm sure, is a lot less than what you saw in Kendama World Cup.
Yes, absolutely, and like that's why I'm doing what I'm doing in the United States in general, is to grow the next generation of players. Like that's what Kendama Institute's all about, is like, you know, the education and spreading so that there is a continuation of like next generation players. But yeah, like coming back to the cup, it's like I don't think it's important to like separate even age groups. At this point, it's obviously been proven that 9-year-olds can fucking kick the shit out of my 27-year-old ass, or any other like Bonds is like, or like Bryson or anyone like,
Man,
you know, like, you know, it's insane. And it's like also like with the women too, it's like I don't even like, this is where we were almost going in the last podcast. It's like, is it necessary to even have a women's division? Mm-hmm. And I had some really powerful conversations with Kiara, just about, you know, like thinking that should just be nipped in the butt, because it's like shown and proven that they're kicking everyone else's ass as well.
Yeah,
like Kendama is such a unique sport.
Yeah, it's not physical like football.
It's completely inclusive, and everyone has the similar opportunity, unless literally you can't see with your eyeballs, which we've been exploring with blind Kendama.
Yeah,
but
we
like,
were doing that.
That's a whole nother story. Like, you know, like everyone has a chance of being on the top, and we're seeing that. This last cup like was like emotional to see, you know, anywhere from a 9-year-old to like a 14-year-old teenage girl to a 20-year-old, you know, young adult, you know, all placing in the top 30, chasing for the top spot. Like anyone can do this. Like, and like I think it's important to express that, and for everyone to kind of like think about that.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot there.
No, that's a huge thing, but it's interesting, man, because like you're saying, like how the girls and it's all inclusive and stuff, but there's also the girls' competition, which is, I don't think it's ever meant to be like excluding of men or like of boys, because they don't want us to not come, but they're just kind of trying to highlight the fact that there's women in the community and that they're worthy of their own competition, you know, which makes an interesting point in and of itself. Because, like you're saying, like, I don't believe that they need their own event, because they, like you said, they have proven themselves to be among the top of all of us, not just themselves, right? And
I think those events are good.
Also,
I think it's good because it creates the community, and it makes it stronger for the, you know, for those other girls to participate 100%. Now, because maybe they feel a little intimidated to join a normal event with a lot of dudes.
That's the biggest like point in terms of absolutely having like multiple divisions is encouraging like, so the players, whatever their skill level, whatever their gender, feel confident and comfortable and safe to like compete. And that's why I do agree in that, because like it does like Kendama is like a male dominated sport, and I totally absolutely agree with that. And like before, you know, communicating with this woman Kiara, who's Tio's partner, is like, she kind of was like on this page of just being like, I don't think it should be a thing. And I was just like, wow, like why not? You know, and like it was just really interesting to kind of have this deeper conversation with her, when I've been like kind of in the mindset of like being like, you know, like, yes, like it I would imagine it would feel super intimidating to be like a woman like surrounded by like a bunch of men that are like really good at the sport, and I want to participate, but like I don't feel confident in my abilities yet, and there's only a couple of girls in the scene, of women in the scene that are kind of highlighting that ability,
especially if those couple women only speak another language you don't speak, or something like that, so being it's a world community.
And I think it's cool just in general that we're having the conversation, because we want it to be inclusive, and like we know Kendama is for everyone and like all ages, and it's really like we're setting the precedent as Kendama's gaining more and more traction of how the sport grows and like what it is seen as like in the grander public's eye. You know, like I do still believe that like multiple divisions are like potentially a good thing, but like I just think there needs to be like a grander conversation maybe about it, and like more experimentation about it, you know, like
I believe it should just be open for everything. There can be, you know, mixed competitions where anyone and everyone can join, then there should be competitions that are focused just for a certain type of people. Like, why not? The more competitions, the merrier. And then you choose which one you want to be a part of.
Yeah.
They're not taking away anything.
I don't disagree with
it's
that.
Not, it's not saying like, right, as long as they're not saying like, oh, you're a girl, so you can only join the girls' competition, or you're whatever, you're a young kid, so you can only do the kids' one. As long as there's other ones where like everyone can compete against each other.
Yes.
Yes, that, and as long as everyone is allowed to attend every competition, even if you're not allowed to compete, if you're allowed to be there to support your community, be it like age, sex, gender, sexual orientation, whatever, it's like all just you just got to be there.
Yeah, this ain't no like a Illuminati club, like everyone can join.
Hell no.
Yeah. I mean, there's like, it was interesting because like I believe the
I meant to say JKA.
The Asia Kendama Championships, I think that's what it was
Oh,
called.
the Chinese one.
Yeah, so that was
China
Kendama.
Kendama.
Well, that was a completely, like, you could not compete in that if you were...
because it was only Chinese.
Yeah, so that was, like, a restriction that they chose to do, and, like, everyone, I guess, has the ability to do that, and I guess this conversation got brought up because at MKO last year was the first ever women's division.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
And there was also a Japanese champion that year, was it not that year?
Last year?
When Canada won? Not last year, but the year before. Oh, did he win? He did win, didn't he? He
definitely won, but...
Yeah.
Last year. Well, anyway, what I was getting at is, like, the women could join the women's open. There's also an AM open, you know?
Oh, totally.
And then there's the open, which anyone and everyone could enter. You know, and it's just interesting. And I think that's a valid idea because, like, that's why Sweets did what they did, is because they want it to be as inclusive as they can, and they're trying those options, you know? So it's like, I don't think it's bad.
The shiesty thing is how I know, like, you've had problems with people, I think on many competitions, no matter how big or small, of people...
Sandbagging.
Yeah.
And I think that comes down to, like, almost like a skill check. And, like, that's a whole different, like...
Man, there's so much shit. There's so much shit. It's like the sport is just so young, and I think we should look at a lot of other sports and take some ideas from them. Yeah.
And none of us really know what's going on. We're all just trying to do the best we can.
Yeah, and
there's always problems we got to run into.
Right.
Solve them together.
Not going to be able to make everyone happy, and sometimes shit just needs to be like, sorry, like that's the way we've decided.
You got to make it at some point. You got to make a decision. You can't just stand in a restaurant and stare at the menu forever and all of a sudden feel full. You got to fucking decide on something.
Yeah, and then you try out that menu item. You're like, okay, that was not what I liked. You know,
exactly. So maybe next time I'll try this one.
But like, there is like educational guesses, and I think the community, especially the people that are running these events and running these competitions around the world, are tuned in to this like awareness of looking to improve and being as inclusive as possible. And I think that's really beautiful. And I think like the more that we're able to connect with each other and like learn from one another, like the more that we can all get like more and more on the same page, and you know, like competitions are only going to get better and more exposure as well. You know, like Kendama's trying to get pushed to the Olympics. You know, it's like, how do we get it there? It has to be refined sport. It has to be like, I mean, breakdancing just made it. You have to have the whole
thing honed,
you know,
right?
Breakdancing just made it.
Skateboarding just made it.
Breakdancing made it?
Breakdancing, b-boying made it to the Olympics. I will pull up an article and you guys can keep talking, but
not for next year.
Details, but not for next year. I think it was the Olympics following,
like after the 2020.
I don't know if it's 2024 or
okay. But, I mean, if you're going to look that up, we can talk about that after. For now, it's like, even just skateboarding, man. Like, skateboarding has been around for what, like 30 years, 50 years? Like, I don't even know. Dude. But
what the
long time. And, like, and I'm talking about, like, modern skateboarding. I'm not talking about, like, only, like, skateboarding in general. Kendama is different because it has a century of history.
Right,
and even more history behind that with, like, different, like, pre-Kendama toys, like the Bilbo K and, like, the Bolero and all that kind of stuff. But the fact that skateboarding is only now getting into the Olympics is like a huge indication of like Kendama's position in that regard, you know?
I wonder if they were just like, man, the Olympics kind of suck, especially the summer ones. We need something to like spice that shit up, because the winter has snowboarding, it has like fucking I don't know what shit's called when you're on skis, like not the mogul one, but there's like fucking high air, big jump.
Oh yeah, big air, I think it's called.
Mega ramps and shit. Like
there's lots of shit like that.
There's the fucking cross, like snowboard cross, like that shit's like really intense. and it's
Yeah,
like on the
absolutely.
side of X Games type shit.
Yeah.
But Summer Olympics, they're like, yo, we got nothing. Like, we got badminton, we got fucking Roman wrestling, and like backstroking in a pool. Like, I think they were like, we need to spice it up. Which I'm totally,
Yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
I need to fucking get my tickets to see skateboarding next year. 'Cause
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool. And
That
like
would be so
something that's
amazing.
interesting, like I don't really follow very closely the skateboarding community as much as I used to, but I still see it a lot. And like, there's been a lot of people speaking out about it, being like, "Yo, that's not what skateboarding's about. If you're like getting a scored on your skateboarding style, then like that's not what it's about. Because the whole point is to have your style
Right.
and to have fun with it." And to just enjoy what you have with it. Like, you're not supposed to be like, oh,
And that's-
well, this guy can kick flip a fucking 15 stair, so if I can't do that, then I'm a piece of shit. You know, like, it's like I shouldn't even skateboard if I can't do that. Like, no, that's
Yeah.
not the point. And that's where Kendama is very similar to
Yes.
skateboarding.
Yes,
that
yes.
It's something that is, you can have just as much fun doing a big cup as if you did a whole fucking 15-minute spacewalk Ben Harold line to fucking yank Lunar or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
absolutely. That's a really good point. It's a very good point, and it's very interesting too, because it's like, you know, the integrity of the sport. There's like, when you ask like, what does kendama mean to you, to anyone, like, you're gonna get so many different answers. You might find similar answers, but it's almost just like a conditioning from our fucked system that we're in, within just how everything works, being graded, being scored, being ranked up,
100%.
being climbing up like this hierarchy of ladders,
Yeah.
seeing who's on the top, and like it just like leads to like toxic communication from the people that are on the top, feeling like they're better than everyone else. Not
Yeah.
everyone by any means, but like it does happen, and like it's just interesting. You know, kendama is like such a powerful thing, and like an activity to play, just like spreading the joy of catching your first big cup, your first spike, and like seeing that within their face. You're not saying like you're about to go on stage for 3 minutes and get as many of these tricks out of 10 as possible, and if you don't get it, you're not going to qualify. You know, it's like, no, you know, but it is a game, and like that's also why I love this game, is because there's so many ways to play, and like
Yeah.
you can choose the path that you want to play it. Like if there's a competitive division, that's really tight. If there's a local Ken club where you just go hang out with your homies and like, you know, barbecue, whatever it is, and
Yeah,
just like learn
yeah.
tricks, like that's tight. You know,
Yeah.
you go and use kendama to travel around.
I mean,
and like meet people around the world, like that's tight.
it's like, because that shit came way before the competitive side of it.
Yeah, 2014 first World Cup, quote unquote. I mean, like the JKA has been doing competitions since I don't know if they started in the 75,
I mean,
doing competitions, but
I
like
don't know
I
either.
wouldn't doubt it. Like
I mean,
I actually don't know that information.
they had their 40th anniversary event like a couple years ago that I went to. So it's been like 42.
That was
Yes,
that was
that's
2015.
true.
I was there that year.
Yeah. So
I
it's
came
been
that year.
54 years that they've been having competitions at least.
Yeah, it was.
But even still, like, it
competitions.
goes back. Yeah, for them, it definitely goes back to them just looking at karate and like judo and stuff, and be like, okay, there's dans, there's rankings, like this is how we're gonna do it. We use that system, and that's what turned into people being like, okay, I have to get to this certain point to be this good. You know, I think
Yeah.
it's only the when it went to the States that it turned into more of a freestyle thing, where it's like, oh,
Absolutely.
I can do whatever I want. It's like here's your palette of multiple colors. Like, fucking paint a picture. Just do whatever you fucking want. There's no rules.
Oh yeah.
And like kendama's one of my favorite things in the world because of that.
Yeah,
Like, I was learning new tricks this weekend. Like, I met up with Aventus and learned some of his crazy ass string tricks, and then like found out some new ones of my own because like I was inspired.
yeah.
You know, and like that's the cool thing, is like we can inspire one another to like keep learning new things. And like whenever someone asks me like how many tricks can you do on a kendama, I say infinite, or like
Oh,
how
yeah.
many are possible with a kendama. It's like it's infinite, because like yes, there's like 3 cups and a spike, you know, but like you can do so much more.
Yeah, then you show
With
them
this
the
simple idea.
clip of Rod fucking disassembling his shit, and then they fucking
Yeah.
dead.
Like something so simple can be so complex.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
don't know it,
It's
you
why
know?
you just answer, open your mind. Just
Open
fucking
your mind,
open
free your
your
mind.
mind. Just go
Just
watch
flow like water.
Total Recall like one more time, the old one, not the new shits, the old one, and open your fucking mind. Because
Wow.
the older
Holy fuck.
we get, that's all these rules are just solidifying in our brains more and more and more. That's why the fucking kids are so
True.
amazing.
It is.
One is like
Well, that's why-
they just see the shit and they're like, all right, copycat, and they just do it. But creativity wise,
That's why it's, I believe, important to also, especially as like kendama players that have been practicing for a long time. Like, I mean, you like have a small platform. You have a platform of exposure to people that you've met or people that have found you because they're interested in similar things that you are. And it's like, I'm not telling you how to live your life, but like you have an opportunity to be a role model and like be an influence, and you know, you can see the impact of those influences from, you know, rappers around the world or like famous
Yes.
musicians, where people start like literally like just like living their moral compass by the way a rapper lives their moral compass, or, you know, like however it may be, they get inspired. So it's like we all have a choice to make, you know, and like you get to choose how you want to walk that line. So I mean, that's up to you, I guess.
right? Yeah.
It's interesting.
You
Hell
want to
yeah.
be a dick? Fine, be a fucking dick. You're not gonna have any friends. You want to be cool and spread the positivity
Spread the cool.
of this shit.
Yeah.
That'd be
Peace,
way
love,
cool.
and
I'll give you a high five.
positivity.
So, Josh, Kendama World Cup. What was the worst part of it?
Oh man, I had something. I don't want to interrupt you, but I had something that like ties into this little concept. So this is something that I've learned from my juggling friends, that after like juggling events, they do a thing where they go around the table or around the room or whatever, and they do a thing they call high, low, goal, crush, bane, surprise. So after the event, you say, my high is this, my low is this, my goal for next one is this, my crush was this person at the event, my bane was this, what happened, and then the surprise. So let's just, I think
I'll
the
go
three of
for
us
that.
should
Whoa,
do this. Do you want to
whoa.
go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'm down for whatever.
Okay, here. Well, I brought it up, so here I'll go first. Just give a good
I'm gonna
example.
crack
All right?
beer.
Yeah, grab me one too. Actually, I'm gonna need another Yona for this one. All right. So my high, I think, of the KWC this year was probably being the tour guide on the bus.
You were
Yeah.
a fucking badass.
I had so much fun. Just like, I didn't have to do much. I didn't have to like work hard. All I had to do was be where I needed to be on time and just tell everybody the information that was told to me.
And you were, even when you only got a couple hours of sleep, so good on you.
Yeah, and I felt like I did a good job. People seemed to be hyped on it, so that was my high. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah?
Low is a hard one. The low would probably be first thing in the morning when I woke up after the crazy sake parties and all the stuff the night before, and I still have to get up at 7 to guide a bunch of people on the bike in the rain to get to the venue. And,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that too, but you got to have a low somewhere. My goal is going to be for next year, I want to put more effort into these tricks so that I can actually have some decided lines to do before the event and not do the same mistake as just like putting in a fucking trick that I just did once today but I've never done before. Because I literally do that every year and fuck myself. So that's my goal for next year.
Probably not the best move.
It's definitely not the best move. I mean, it's been tried and true in every year for me, except for the one year I fluked out and smacked that trip UFO and got into the Canadian wildcard.
Ah.
Anyways, moving on. We got Crush. Ooh, this is a
this
tough
like
one.
crush like who you were
Like
crushing
who I was
on?
crushing on, like who I like vibed with the hardest kind of thing.
Dang.
Who you wanted to
And,
kiss on the mouth the most.
I mean, it
Who did
could
you
be
want to
that, I
touch your lips
suppose.
to?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Rolf wasn't there,
It's a hard
so-
one because there's so many people. Okay, you know what? I have one in mind. Someone that I met for the first time this trip was Fred from Denmark. He's a kid. He's just a chrome shop homie.
Yeah.
And Fred gets it, man. He's a cool kid.
Yeah.
He's really good at Dama. He shreds. He's just like...
He's such a nice kid, dude.
Such
He's
a
got
nice
such good
dude.
manners.
Yeah. His mom was along. His mom was really cool.
Mom
too. I
was
could,
super
you know what?
supportive.
As far as like my crush, because I'd say
Oh,
that
that was
combo,
his
those two
mom?
were fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
his mom.
dude.
Ellie.
Was it Ellie or was it
Oh, shit.
Elizabeth?
Full name Elizabeth.
Oh, okay,
Elizabeth,
cool.
yeah,
You got the
short.
nickname. All right, all
Yeah.
right.
You got close.
And then, of course,
that
you would
was
probably
Josh's
already know.
Crush.
Yeah, that was.
No.
So for
I
my
got
Bane, you guys probably already know what my. So the Bane is like something that like just fucking irks you that you did bad. So you probably already know. My second round was my Bane. I didn't hit any of my tricks except for the backup because I was shook and I picked stupid tricks.
Yeah.
And I fucking threw 10 juggle spike in my
Bane
line
of
like
your
a
existence,
fucking
you
idiot.
hope you never do
So
again.
that was my Bane. And surprise would probably have to be the weather. Like, this is the first time of all the years that it's been raining the whole time. But not just the weather, but how much I enjoyed the weather. even though it was rainy, I had so much fun biking in the rain, just getting wet, and yeah, it was a good time.
Fucking getting loose, getting wet.
Getting
Sex.
loose. Went for a
That's-
swim in the rain.
That definitely was a different experience, I bet. So that's awesome, right?
Yeah, it
it makes
absolutely
it
was.
feel
I
different.
wasn't busy
than-
sweating the whole time. It was
Right.
Man, well, do I want to go or should you go, MJ?
You go,
Okay.
guest.
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna start with my low. I
Oh
guess,
no, you got to do it in
I
order.
gotta do it in
bud.
order. Who
Yeah.
says that?
Yeah.
Why not?
That's how.
Okay,
That's how you're gonna
okay,
remember
alright.
the
I was
for the
trying
next
to-
time. The
Just
same.
how it was
Freestyle
written.
Here. I don't like rules, so I was trying
No,
to
we
mix
don't-
it up. My high. You know, it's still tough because like literally like the entire like World Cup was so much stimulation from like person to person. Like I couldn't really walk from one side of the room to the other without like someone like honestly like, coming up to me, which I honestly didn't expect. And I guess that was my surprise. Fuck, that's not my surprise. My high. Jesus, I gotta stop talking and just phone it in.
Just got to do it. It's the
Phone
first
it
thing
in
that comes
here.
to mind.
Something to
Well, I
eat.
guess the first thing-
Hajime.
Oh, thank you. I guess one of my highs, KWC specific, was I guess like the ability to finish my qualifying runs and like transfer my frustrated energy into like gratitude and just like acceptance and like understanding so that I could like move on through the next day and a half at World Cup with like just happiness and like excitement to like talk to people and hang out and like play more Dama with people because like I knew I wasn't going to qualify. Like honestly, like I felt very good after the fact that I did that, but immediately this is going into my low. My low was not qualifying. My low was not reaching my intended goal of like 74 points, which wouldn't have qualified anyway, but that's okay. But like, you know, like my high was the fact that like I practiced my tricks. I stayed focused. I didn't have shakes really when I was competing other than on my
Nice.
still over valley. Like it wasn't even shaky. It just felt not stable. Like
Yeah.
like that was the one trick that kind of just felt weird for me. But everything else, like I felt super confident. I was hitting my first 3 tricks almost immediately, and then I had like a long time for my harder tricks. And that was definitely like my high and my low combined. My goal for next year is to qualify. I want to fucking be on that stage, like just period.
Hell yeah.
My crush. It was funny. It kind of changed my idea when you brought up Fred, because if I was gonna say like a male identifying individual, just like the crush was like Eric from fucking Austria. Like, dude, that dude is just like
yeah.
the homie, dude. I've been following him
I was thinking
on
about
Instagram
him.
for so long, and like this dude is a solo sender, dude. He's like just
Yeah,
like
dude.
sent it into Shibuya by himself for this freaking group home concert in the middle of the night. Stayed up all night to take the first train. Like this dude is like an inspiration.
Yeah,
like,
that dude is the shit.
but other than him, dude, it was the woman at the earring stand and the vending booth. I got her to spike it for the first time. I was like completely shocked that she had never fucking spiked a kendama, and she was a really cool person, and I got a really cool gift from her. But that was the crush. My bane.
Onto the Bane.
My bane. This isn't KWC, but this was pre KWC, and it was throwing up 3 times after drinking way too much tequila. That was not. Not my ideal choice either. It was
No,
more
you-
like I
you
was
didn't
kind of
want
like
that.
out of respect. I spilled whiskey on this guy's bar, Gustavo, who's just like a legend of the community,
Gustavo.
just like legend in the, I guess, party scene of Dama players.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Those
a lot
who
of people know
know.
Gustavo, and slurped a lot of whiskey off the counter, and then just
That was actually hilarious. We got to explain this really quick. You can't
Oh,
just say that.
God.
So, Josh got this really nice shot of whiskey, a nice Hibiki Japanese-made whiskey.
yeah, really
And-
excited to just sip on it and
Yeah.
enjoy it.
And
you know,
I don't remember what happened. Something happened where you bumped it and you fucking knocked it over and spilled it. You saved a good chunk of it. You didn't spill
all of it stayed on the counter, dude.
But yeah, all of it that did spill was in this little puddle on the counter. So Josh, being the guy that he is, he fucking gets down there, turns his lips into a straw, and just starts sucking the whiskey up off the bar.
I felt bad, dude. I just
And,
felt
like,
like it was disrespectful.
It wasn't
to
like
not-
a quick slurp. Like he went back. He was fucking hoovering that shit, like back and forth for like. He had like 6 passes. It was,
Oh,
Josh
man.
turned into a Roomba for a second, dude. He cleaned that shit right up.
So that was kind of my bane, dude. I don't like throwing up, especially from alcohol. It's not a fun
Yeah,
experience. I
never.
don't recommend it. be mindful of how much alcohol you drink.
Yes.
Surprise. My surprise. Getting a tattoo. I got a freaking tattoo, and
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
beyond excited about it. I will not disclose the location of this tattoo, of where I got it physically, but I got it on my leg. I won't disclose where I got it.
Where it was done.
It
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Details.
Irrelevant. But, yeah, man, I just met this amazing dude, Tracy, from Taiwan, I believe.
Yes.
And he was connected to... You've got ink from him before?
No, I have not.
But you've met him before.
I think I've met him before, yes. I think he's been to KWC before.
Okay, you brought up something about tattoos. I was hanging out with you for a second, and he was just like, oh, blah, 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 like, I can give tattoos now.
Yeah, I was
like,
debating
what?
getting tattoos from him, to be honest. Like,
It blew my mind, because
he was real busy,
Japan.
man.
I came to Japan wanting to get a tattoo, and I didn't know if it was going to happen, honestly. And I have never got a tattoo before. And he basically said, like, he could give me one, and I was like, well, I would love a turtle. Like, you know, the tortoise is, like, kind of like my spirit animal, like, just, like, slow, wise, methodical, like, and, like, if you know me and if you've spent time with me on this trip, you know it takes me a little bit longer to get my shit together, just because, like, I want to make sure I don't forget anything. And, like, with a kendama on its back somehow, you know? And he sent me a sketch, like, 25, 30 minutes later, and it just blew my mind. And I was like, dude, I'm putting that on my leg.
And this is during the competition, by the way. Like, he was at KWC, like, and he just...
Day
He just
two?
left it up on his freaking iPad, like, up
Was
on
that
the
day two?
upper balcony.
Was that day 2? I think it was day 2.
That was day 2.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. You
Yeah,
showed me
we
in the
got it,
morning,
yes.
yeah.
So that was my surprise, man. It was beautiful. So
That's
there's
sick. It's
my
high-low, goal crush, bang, surprise.
now,
Bang,
MJ,
surprise.
it is your time to shine.
I want to go to the back of the tattoo just to say, like, I like how you
Okay.
went with moving his head to the side. Right?
Yes,
the different
that was a good call.
variations
There was
that
a
we
couple
talked about.
adjustments.
Yeah,
And he was such a good artist, man. Like, shout out to Tracy, dude, because, like, he's just, like, you know, he speaks really good English, but, like, Kendama was our language. Kendama was our connecting point. And, like,
Word.
he transmuted my love for Kendama and tortoise, like, onto my leg with, like, such accuracy. And, like, just, like, freedom of my own choice. It was like, yeah, like, his head was in the middle, not super obvious. And I was like, what would it look like if he had his head to the side? You know, can we close his mouth into, like, a small, like, just gentle smile?
Right, yeah,
You know?
better close
And
that
he
mouth.
did all of that perfectly. I couldn't ask for anything else on my leg. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's so awesome.
All right, moving on to MJ. We got you for high, low, goal, crush, bang, surprise. What you got, bud?
Hi.
Yes.
Getting out to Kendama World Cup this
getting
year.
to the kid. Yeah.
Getting-
Hell yeah.
fucking
Shout
getting
out the nerds supporting with the t-shirts.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Shout out to my wife saying that it is like it's cool. Like, actually, you should go. This is a good opportunity to
Hell yeah.
get some shit done. I was talking with Rob before. It's like half the battle is done. I'm in Japan. I live in Japan already.
It's true.
Like, I just got to get over to Hiroshima. So luckily I got some time. So it was like literally, it was probably like what, 3 weeks before that I was like, okay, I'm going. Got to look for
It
plane
was
tickets.
about that. Yeah.
Got to look for a place to stay. And because it was like they just finished the entries, but so that was definitely the high. Fucking actually going this year, because from the beginning of the year, and I don't know when was it, even like from beginning of the year, people were like, "Oh, you're gonna go to World Cup and shit." I'm like, "Yeah, no." Like, I know I'm not going, but I went. So that was fucking awesome.
But you win.
That was the high. And then what was the next one? Then low?
The low. High, low.
The low. So now the low and the bane, isn't that pretty much the same?
I mean, not necessarily.
Oh, yeah?
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay.
Well, you said it first, so I guess I would.
I'll get you a mate. We'll call it even.
Good luck
So,
finding
okay.
it here in Japan.
Whoa, man. The low.
It's a tough question,
Yeah.
especially when it's such a high vibe event. But
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
think
Oh, wait.
emotionally, man. Emotionally, anything.
So
Get
then
deep
what would
into it,
bane
bro.
be? Like something that just fucking
Something
like-
just
Something that you want to
Burst.
change. It's not necessarily like a regret, but it's like the bane of your existence. It's like, fuck, like, damn it. Like, I wish that kind of didn't happen, but like, it's okay that it did.
Okay.
Like, whatever.
Okay. So all right. So I got that one down. Okay. So then the low would be not being able to film any crazy Ken games while I was out there. I brought in my bag. I had like 4 different items to record crazy Ken games with some people.
I really wish we did. I would have been down. I know I already did one, but I'm always down.
Totally. But it was just like the amount of time that was free because everyone that I wanted to record with was competing. So everyone's like, day one, they're like, I want to focus, like qualifications are coming up, like maybe after it's done, like we can do some recordings. And then the next day they're like, all right, after the round, because I want to watch all the finals. I want to watch everyone
you gotta
slay
see
on
the
stage.
Homies throw down. You gotta support. Yeah.
So then for me, it was just like with my time of how much I had to record, I just focused on getting interviews because that was the easiest thing that I could get a lot of people with. And so that was the low, not being able to get any crazy Ken games with anybody. That fucking sucks. What was the next one?
The next one is high, low, goal.
Goal for next year. Well, the goal is to figure out if I'm going next year, to reserve a place to stay at Omotenashi right away.
And so you don't have another spin.
Yeah.
That's a good goal.
Because
I
that place is so far away from everywhere else. Or, dudes, do you know? Okay, so when I was looking for like Airbnbs or other places to stay around the area, like seriously, 2 fucking buildings away from Omotenashi is a fucking house that you can rent out.
Yeah, like an Airbnb, right?
Yeah, but it's not under Airbnb. Yeah, it's like, and it's fucking there.
I've heard of it. I don't know where it is. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
It's seriously like the two houses next door from the back. Like if
probably right in front of that brand new parking block.
If you left Omotenashi and you turn to the left, it's like 2 houses that way. Crazy.
Definitely right in front of that brand new parking
block.
So
next time, just like rent that shit out.
Book a better Airbnb. That's the goal.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good goal. All right, and how about your crush?
Talking so much with Thatchmaster.
Dude,
being able to, we met like.
I love you, Thatch.
Yes, we all love you, Thatch.
Fuck, when did we first meet? 2 years ago when I went to Kendama World Cup. I met him, and then we became friends on Facebook. Like, we'd see posts every once in a while, and he fucking supports kendertainment and shit. He's the fucking man. And then being able to see him, like, dude, what's up? Yeah, and then like really being able to hang out and talk with him, like a lot, was so awesome.
Oh, so, dude, Thatch was like session Mario. He fucking beat Mario in like 20 minutes.
He told me he speedrunned. Yeah.
Yeah, we were sitting there playing. Like, he just jumped on Mario. We were sitting there playing 1-up, and then I look back, and all of a sudden he's like beat last battle. I'm like, what the? How long have we been playing this game? Because like this is fucked.
He knows
all 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. Yes.
Yeah. So that was fucking awesome.
That's some good shit. So Thatch is your crush. What about your bane?
The bane was almost okay. So me being late all the time to everything.
I was the turtle, dude.
Dude, so my airplane flight out was I timed it up with my first train. So when I left my house, I left like 5 a.m. and got on the train. I'm an hour and a half away from the airport here in Tokyo from Haneda. So I got the 8:15 train, and I was scheduled, if all the trains went well, I would get there at 7:40.
That and I'm didn't happen now, did it?
And no, it did. But the stress of if anything went wrong and I missed that fucking plane and having to pay more money for another ticket, I was like so fucking stressed.
Yeah,
dude, it's a real stress, dude.
So then when I was leaving the next day, Sunday, I was like, all right, my plane's at 7:15. It takes me like an hour and a half to get from the venue, the Sun Cherry, to Hiroshima Airport. Like, I'm going to go, and I don't want to be, like, rushing, so I'm going to get there with, like, an hour to spare just to hang out, to get some souvenirs for the family and shit. So I got to leave at 4. Like, sweet, I'm leaving at 4. I made wrong decisions again. I decided to start saying goodbye to everybody at 4. That took 30 minutes.
I was going to say at least an hour, but that's good. You did good if it was only 30 minutes.
If it was 30 minutes, yeah. And then I get on the little shuttle that I used the day before to get from the nearest station to Sunshare where the event was, because I was like, oh shit, there's a shuttle that just takes us right there. Sweet. So I get on it, and I went there on Saturday. On Sunday, when I'd head back, it was raining. I leave the venue, right? That's like, I saw you guys like right at the end.
Yep.
You saw me got on that fucking bus, right?
I saw you get on the bus. Yes, I waved to you.
That bus did not go to the station.
Oh, dude.
That bus went to a fucking shopping mall. And I'm like, the bus stops. The driver's like, all right, everyone, you can get out. And I get up. I'm like, when are we going to the station, dude? He's like, oh, this bus doesn't go to the station. I'm gonna go back to the event. He's like, there's 2 buses. One goes here to this shopping mall, and the other one goes to the fucking station. I'm like, fuck. He's like, and with the rotation, we gotta wait here 10 minutes. And I'm just looking at the clock. I'm like, holy fuck, time's ticking. I so fucked myself. We get back to the venue, and I see the old dudes who are in charge of the bus. I'm like, yo, when's the bus to the station coming around? They're like, in 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes.
Yeah. And at that point, I already lost the full hour. It was like 5.
Yeah, you were fucked.
10, yeah.
Now it's crunch time.
Yeah. So I just fucking start jogging to the station, hoping I don't get lost.
You jogged.
Yeah.
You're an animal.
You have to, man. You go into like this instinct mode where you're like, I have to run.
No,
I have to go. Like, yeah. And seriously, the same shit happened where I got to Hiroshima Airport with like 15-20 minutes before the flight.
Before your flight boarded?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
How long did it take you?
No,
to get
before
it
took out. Luckily,
before it left.
Yeah.
It's domestic flight.
It's domestic flight.
Luckily, yeah. One thing is it's domestic, and the other good thing is that Hiroshima Airport is tiny as fuck.
So you just flew through. Luckily,
went through so quickly, and had time to spare. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
But that's stress, and I'm always late with all shits. So. That's the bane of my existence. Being too fucking relaxed to be like, I got time.
Well, maybe that could be a goal for next year, too.
Yeah, that could be a goal for next year, too. That could fall under a double category.
That connects.
Yeah, all right. The last one is your surprise.
The surprise? My surprise was Jake telling me that dude looks up to me as a father. He's like, I mean, it could have been because he was super fucking drunk, pretty trashed, but he was like, me and him just went at it talking about kids and stuff for a while. And then he's like, yo, MJ, he's like, dude, like, you're fucking doing it. Like, you're the man. Like, you're probably the coolest dad. And that just made me feel like so happy because I'm like, dude, like, I think you're the coolest fucking dad. Like, I think you're fucking crushing really cool. It, doing so much shit with your life and with your family and progression and your dreams. Having them fulfilled, doing shit, but he said, "Are you sure
Jake Weens wasn't your crush?"
I mean that
Jake Weens and Thatch are like connected at the hip, though.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
true.
I mean, 2 in 1 right there.
I think we could all say that Jake Weens was everyone's crush.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
We'll leave that one. We'll leave that one there. But anyways, yeah, cool dad MJ. I mean, I cannot disagree with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Hells yeah.
That's wonderful. I love that exercise. I'm glad you brought that up because we do a lot of that stuff in our classes, actually, where we'll do, like, what was the biggest benefit of today that you felt? Like, what was the biggest lesson you felt? What was the biggest challenge?
Yeah, totally. I love this. The first time I ever heard about this was at Mad Skills when Matt Hall came to Vancouver and we did Mad Skills, and he taught me about this. So I just thought about it just now, and I looked it up as we were talking. And
nice.
Because I wanted to do it. And so, the juggling homies have been doing this for years. It's what they always like. I found like 3 websites that are just like shit about like doing that while I do it.
Since we've kind of closed, unless MJ, you have anything else to say
Nope.
about that?
Yeah.
When do they do this in their events? Do they like have a circle of just people that like want to do it, like show up?
I don't know.
And, like,
Not
they
in
share,
my
or is it, like,
experience.
just, like,
I've
a
only ever
one-on-one?
in my experience I've only seen it like just hanging out after the event, like with the homies or like online in forums or like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'm sure there's gatherings afterwards.
I
like
would
there's,
I would love to fucking throw out like a Google,
Google
survey.
Hangout or whatever.
No, a Google survey that like I could just post, and if you want information to it, you could like get the link sent to you, and like you could fill out those. I think it's 5 things.
Yeah.
Is it 5?
Was it 5?
High,
It's like
low,
high, low, goal,
crush.
high, low, goal, crush, bang, or bane. So I keep saying bang, but it's bane. Surprise.
6.
That is 6.
6 questions.
Yeah.
And that's just how we can grow. And that's also a social and emotional practice. Sharing your feelings, sharing your thoughts, sharing your experience. And that's a beautiful thing. And the world needs more of that, I think. So
I think the best part about that is it really helps people stay motivated with this thing that is just a hobby that maybe outside of, depending on where they are, maybe there's people around them that nobody gives a shit about their kendama hobby. But it gives them motivation for the next time to come back around and to continue.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're like setting a goal after this one before
Yeah.
you've even gotten another year closer. You think about that later when the next year comes around. You're like, "Fuck, I had that goal. Like that means I gotta go.
Yeah,
You know, I gotta fulfill my goal."
Yeah, the 3 of us. It's been documented right now. Episode 17 of Dama Nerds.
So I'll see you nerds next year at KWC for another
Oh,
crazy fucking round in our bedroom.
I'm definitely gonna work.
Oh
my
no,
ass off to be
dude,
back
we're
here
gonna
again.
we're gonna be in that fucking side house next to Motenashi.
Oh, there you go. The nerd house,
That
fucking.
sounds good.
Yeah,
The Dama nerd base, fucking. Just 24-hour recording. Anybody who wants can come in and say whatever they want, and then we'll just edit
No
it.
random ambushing.
Wow.
I mean that wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad.
It was not bad. It was.
Yeah.
If it was ever gonna happen, that was the way it had to happen.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful
Yeah.
moment. I was like, so. I didn't even know. I just walked around just being like, "What the fuck is? What?
Seriously,
Okay.
we're like, what do
Like,
we do
just-
now?
Yeah, it was fucking insane.
That was fucking sick."
Well, considering that we're so deep in this shit, who the fuck won this goddamn thing?
One what thing?
The whole thing, man. Who took it home?
Oh, jeez. Well, we all know it was Rui.
Rui, yeah.
took it home.
Rui,
I know. I just wanted to get
that
you know.
local Hiroshima homie. Shout
Yeah.
out Rui for having a good day. And that's something we're going to talk about on another episode because, like, I've been scheming on getting Austin Donovan in an episode because I don't know if anybody who's listening out here saw that, but Austin Donovan put up
think many
a
people
story
did.
on his Instagram. I'm sure most of you saw it, that was talking about the stats and, like, how Rui won versus Nick and, like, what was happening and, like, why, like, what was different in their runs and stuff like
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
I think that kind of stuff is so interesting. There's different strategies within this system that we're using in the KWC format, and I think all of us need to hear a little bit more about this so that we can all get closer to winning next year.
Dude, it's gonna elevate the game to a whole nother level. This was like the first ever high performance breakdown of Kendama, like at a top tier championship level, and like Austin Donovan did it from his home on a notebook paper, watching the live stream at 1, 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Like
well, taking a shit.
it's absolutely
It's-
amazing. If
yeah,
you
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen it, also it's on Sweets' IGTV.
Oh, nice.
I believe they posted on IGTV on
Yes.
Sweets and Dama's account.
Yes,
but
yes.
I'm looking forward to that future podcast. That's going to be super
Hells
fun.
yeah, that's going to happen sometime in the near future, hopefully. I'm still in the works, but, you know, the nerds will get the shit done, and there's no bigger Dama nerd has been proven than Austin Donovan, I think. I think
Straight
he just,
up.
you know,
Dude, he
Yeah.
nerded out tough.
not only are we shouting him out
hard.
here, he fucking won the break shit contest last episode.
He did.
Now we
He
got
did.
him fucking just nerding the fuck out, getting the stats for all of us nerds for this
On
episode.
his-
And the next
yeah.
episode, we're going to do it with him to talk about those stats. I mean,
Whoa, man!
dude's
So
on fire in the nerd world, as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone stay. Oh, he
Yeah.
definitely is. He knows.
Hells
He
yeah.
knows his numbers, and that's good because me and numbers are not good friends. So that's one way that he can nerd out hard, and that was
Hells
good.
yeah.
It's fucking good shit.
And it's super good shit. But as we're talking about nerding out, man, we've been going for a minute here. We're fucking well
Yeah.
past our nerd curfew that we usually set for ourselves. Because, you know, we'll just keep talking until we pass out if we don't put a curfew.
Straight
and you
up.
guys want more than one episode, right? More than one like 35-hour episode. You gotta separate the shit.
We got yeah.
So
You know,
MJ's sweating over here. We're all
taking
we're
up
all
its
sweating
increments.
out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Straight up.
I
But
think-
again, thanks.
Well, dude, thank you so much. Arigato gozaimasu for having me
Hell
on
yeah, dude.
this show. I'm so grateful to be able to spend time with you, Rod, here
Yes.
in Matsumoto and like with Bloken after Cup. It's a great cool down. Excited to head up to the Azora factory and see this just like magical land where
Hells
these
yeah.
magical kendamas have come from.
I know we're just finishing up, but I really believe we need to have you for another one because we talked a lot
Yes.
about KWC, which is a recent event, but we want to
Right.
hear more, and I think the more other nerds that are following us want to know more about the Kendama Institute that you're involved in, your position
Yes.
within Sweets Kendamas.
Yes.
You have you're known for your like philosophy on kendama and how you integrate that into like a lot of real life situations and things like that. And I'm sure I myself want to talk to you more about it, as we probably will off microphone, but we got to put it on microphone too.
Yes.
So
Yes,
Well-
because this dude fucking wrote a book. Who's written a fucking book about kendama besides like the JKA?
Tamotsu.
There's a couple.
Tamotsu.
people out there,
Oh,
There's a couple now, but
in
Yeah.
North America?
the only ones,
Come on.
yeah, not in North America.
Come on.
Definitely
That's
not.
27 years old? Come on.
I guess that is
No.
true. And it's something that I've been sitting on for many, many years when Kendama was still around.
I
was
remember
There you
you
go.
showing
D-Ro.
me, yeah.
When
There you
D-Ro
go.
was, first time I met D-Ro, I told him about the book. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what made us so close, I think, is because we had
There
this
you
like,
go.
super deep theory and whatnot. But yeah, man, have me back. I would love to expose more. I love Dama Nerds. Fully
man.
support.
You just said D-Ro, and I had to just I had one more surprise from it. I gotta add it, man. The game 1UP. If you guys haven't played 1UP, you guys are missing out. Shout out D-Ro because
We'll make a tutorial in the Sweet Studio of how to play it.
Yes,
it's my favorite
nice.
game. We're all addicted.
I'm
Nice.
all addicted, dude. It's a mixture of
It's the
Follow
best
and
game.
Agni Kai. If you don't know Agni Kai, you're missing out. But
We'll
this
film
is
Agni
the
Kai
new
too,
shit.
but
This is the new shit. This is how we play Kendama now. It is great.
Yeah.
it's a wonderful game.
Yeah.
It's a game that you can literally play nonstop, and like there's like even like we played so many times without even having winners. Like
Yeah, we
usually
just keep
you play
going.
to a certain
No
amount of points,
points.
but we just like played till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
kept
Every day.
going.
Every day.
So it's about.
Word. Yeah, shout out to all the Patreons supporting us nerds, getting that kendertainment rolling, keeping
Hells
those
yeah.
train tracks, keep the train on the tracks,
Hells
fucking
yeah.
flying down the mountain.
Right.
And
right.
yeah, it's so good to have the supporters out here, especially like meeting people at events and stuff. So as we said before, come out, say what's up to the nerds,
Yep.
and until then, I guess all we can say is see you next time. Nerds
Next time, everyone.
out.
Out.
Yokoyata!
Yokuyata.